TGIF Cowboys Nation, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the return of Freestyle Friday, the first Freestyle Friday we've had in the 23 season. We're breaking down the Jets. We're going to drop the link. Y'all going to be able to come up. Let's get this intro rolling and let's ride.
BJ Nix, are you here?
Present.
Present. Spoonie, Timothy Spoonie.
Present, sir.
Margaret and Mary. Do we have a Margaret and Mary?
Yes. Cool. And the margaritas.
All right. Class here. We're ready. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
And the Cowboys have it. It's Parsons on top of it.
And there it is. We're back at it. First and foremost, Spoonie, little package for Cowboys Nation came out today. I know me and O got ours in. Hopefully, y'all got y'all's in too. Show the fam that 30th anniversary ES22s. Oh man. Oh yeah. Boy, I tell you what. For whatever reason, I goofed. I thought it was tomorrow for some reason. I opened up the group chat.
Yeah, you were mad as hell.
And I was like, "Did y'all get them?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, man!" I was going real fast, like, "Yo!" I'm like, "All right, cool. I got them." Spoonie's like, "I'm on my way to the store right now." The perks of living in New York, I'll just go to the Reebok store and walk in and get them. We ain't got that kind of luxury down here in Texas, unfortunately, but secure. So hopefully everybody else, if you didn't know, run over to Reebok.com and scoop up those ES22s. Unless you got a small foot, they ain't got no U sizes. They discriminated on Mary. She can't go get them.
Right. Even if I want, I can't. Like, it's very rude. Also, I went to SneakerCon. It came to Dallas. I had to walk all around the whole event to find 4.5 youths, Jordans. And I finally found 2 pairs that I wanted. But you know what? Whatever. They don't want my money. It's okay.
Foot shaming. Well, we gotta do something about that out here. Foot shaming. That's just all there is to it. But with that being said, you got a little bit of the complex now because you got the new joints, you got the ones you've been sitting on.
Yeah. So I had these shoes when I was in 4th grade. I'm pretty sure 4th grade when they came out. I begged my parents to get them, and they were expensive then, but shoes now are like insanely expensive. But back then they were affordable enough for my family to buy them. So I was lucky enough to have them. I was the only kid in my school with them, and I thought I was Emmitt Smith, like walking around the halls of my school, like, yes, I'm the all-time leading rusher. He wasn't that guy yet, but he was on his way there. Anyways, when they retroed them in 2012, 2013, I was like, I have to have these. I absolutely have to have them. They were my favorite shoes of all time just because of the nostalgia factor. Gotta get them. And I got them for Christmas, and I never wore them because I was saving them. I had a plan. I'm like, I'm not going to wear these until the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl. I'm going to wear them that day for good luck. I'm saving them. So they've still been in the box except for last weekend when I took them out to show you guys. I've never put them on my feet. So when they brought them out for the second retro, I was like, okay, I gotta get a new pair because I have a pair now I can wear. So I was asking the guys, and the gal on the show, should I wear my OG retros or my new retros? And they were like, you got to keep the ones you've been saving. So those will be the Super Bowl edition. So I only have to wait until February because I'm gonna wear them this year. So there we go.
There it is. There it is. Dom, how we doing this Friday, brother?
Envy, man. I'm envious because I'm on the polar opposite side of Star Gang Beauty, where you got the size 15, 16 type foot.
They have 15. They have size 15.
We're gonna make some flags, some poster boards. We gonna be out there.
It just don't look right. I look like clowns.
Reebok need to get it together. Reebok need to get it together. Okay.
No, these are made for NFL players. Like it was made
Why
for
won't they let us
running
be
back.
great?
Let me tell you. I just don't have that kind of swag. It will look like clown feet. I'm telling you. Y'all got your nice lids on. I don't even look good in lids. I don't look good with jerseys. I don't look good with shoes on the feet either. So, but it's all good. I'm happy for you guys. I'm one of those friends. I'm happy for my friends.
I'm happy for all the guys that got them. I'm happy for you guys. But even though I did not personally want to get them, I'm still gonna be mad about it.
Yeah, don't give them no outs. We wouldn't be mad because they didn't have your size. No, let's not give them no outs.
Spoonie, will you put him back on the screen real quick?
Yeah.
He wants
all shoe sizes matter, Robert Roberts. All shoe sizes matter. You tell them. They do.
Man, those are nice. This is so nice.
Hey, listen. I wear
if you're a sneakerhead too, you probably see those, and there's a certain NBA player who had very similar shoe design. It's not the exact same, but there's a lot of, especially the Hexalite material. It's very similar to the Allen Iverson Answer 3s or Answer 4s, one of the two. They're a very similar size or style. So if you had those playing basketball, you should know how those feel on your feet. These are going to feel the exact same. So we're not sponsored by Reebok, by the way. So Reebok, if you're listening, this full 5-minute plug we're doing for these shows, just feel free to hit us up.
Yeah, bless us. Yeah.
True brand as well. True brand.
Yeah.
Look,
True brand.
and that old and wearing your hats. Okay.
That's the big facts. Big facts. I mean, at the end of the day, look, no matter if we ordered some or not, we'll take some free ones, Reebok. We'll take more. Maybe a special different colorway. Whatever the case may be. Whatever it takes. Whatever it absolutely takes. Oh man,
it really did feel good though. When I went to the store, I put size 13. There were other Cowboys fans there, and it was so one of the reps was like, "Wow, is this a Cowboy thing?" I said, "You didn't hear the news?" He goes, "What's that? We're going to the championship. These first drop, we went to the championship." He goes, you guys throwing a party? I said, "I'll send you an invite. Who's your team?" He goes, I don't have a team. I said, "Well, here's the thing. If you hang with me, you gotta be a Cowboys fan." And that's what it got to be. So it was good seeing a lot of the Cowboys fans in there, talk about the early back in the day with the 90s, X, Y, and Z. Right. I couldn't afford them when I was young when we won, so I had to get my hands on these. So it was a good day with it.
Real quick, just a comparison before we move on from this topic. They said that I showed them last week and we won, so for good luck. Here's the OG version. So if you look at Spoonies, the retro version, I can't get it.
You're good.
Where is it? There we go. Is like a waffle tan brown color, and it's black on those, and it's the same thing on the back. And then the last thing is this is just silver, and then Spoonies, the new version is like a sparklier version. It looks better. So that's it. They're the exact same shoe aside from that part.
Shimmering, if you will.
Shimmering, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, part of the pre-sale parties we're going to start getting into the Jets breakdown is we drop the link here, and you can come up and comment with us and chat and anything, ask questions, whatever. So this is our version of the open line call. You don't have to be on camera. If you want to hit the link, come in here. You can completely have your camera off and talk. That's not a problem. And we have that pinned. The link's pinned to the very top. You can use your. You want to be on a computer? You can use your phone, your tablet. We'll get you in here either way. You have to download nothing. So look, it's easier than actually dialing a phone number. You just click it and it takes you over here and you're ready to rock. So that's going on for the rest of the show as we spin forward. Injury report. Fun times with the injury report this week. We had Wednesday, it pops up. Well, here's Brandon Cooks on there. And then Mark Lane, who covers the Texans, is like, well, he's a veteran. He did that stuff in Houston every Wednesday. And then it's he banged it. McCarthy says, he banged his knee, and he finished the game, and then turned into a grade 1 MCL sprain. Now he's in pretty good spirits, and says if he's able to go, that there's gonna be no limitations. So it's kind of a wait and see. He worked today, right, in practice, or was he? Or was
He was
still
on
in
the
training?
side. He was on the
Yeah,
side.
he's on the side.
Okay, so that happened. All right, okay. Then we get to Thursday. And then it's Zach Martin with a groin, limited. So right now we have Tyron trending in the right direction, but still on, the injury report. Tyler Smith on there, and now Zach Martin's on there. 3/5 of the offensive line, and we're not even into week 2 yet, Dom. And here we are. Seems like Martin and Tyron's definitely going to be good to go. Seems like Martin is going to be ready. I don't think we're going to see Tyler Smith this week, though.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be the second week in a row where Tyler Smith won't be out there able to perform with his team. And I saw some of his quotes about how, he definitely wants to be out there. He's doing everything he can to try to get back quickly. But when you're dealing with that type of an injury, you don't want to speed that thing up and put him out there before he's completely healed from it, because it's a lingering type of an issue, and you can re-aggravate it quickly. So you try to lean on what Chuma Edoga was able to do last week, maybe stack success on top of itself by moving forward into this showdown with the Jets. Plus, he had a hard time or a good opponent to go up against, and he did fairly well against the Giants. So another good defensive line with a great interior. But Edoga, what he put on tape, played like a league average player, and you hope you can get more of that out of him this week.
My guess personally is that Tyler will be back by San Francisco. I think that's the line where you want to make sure he's 100% healthy. Obviously, not to discount, who we've already played and who we have coming up, because we do have some good D lines coming up soon. But I think that they have been in our face for so long. Like, they want to make sure that he's healthy, at least for that, and no reason to rush him back. And especially after he played good enough in the first week, there's no reason to do that.
And then, of course,
I think he's back soon. Personally, I think he'll be back next week for Tyler. Just because he's been trending. It's week 3 is not a. I mean, you never want to look past an opponent, but week 3 against the Cardinals is a matchup you should be able to win without him. But I feel like they're going to play him to get him in rhythm before you get to the tougher matchups. Also, I'm on the injury report.
Yeah.
I won't be able to play. I can't get this thing. There we go. Broke my thumb coaching Little League football, so that's great.
Yes. It happens, man. I mean, I was on the injury report all off season,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Unbeknownst to some, Mary. Neither here nor there.
It's like that spinal fusion, spinal fusion. Didn't think she was going to ever be able to, get back in season, and bam, here we go.
Here I am.
Some people heal at different rates. Some people just heal at different rates. It's just what it is. And then I guess we'll wrap up here with Donovan Wilson. Outside chance? I don't think he's playing.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, I know they've been talking about it a little bit, a little outside chance, and I don't think he's playing. So Tyler and Donald to miss again. Brandon Cooks, I don't think he's going to play this week. Let me ask y'all real quick. I don't think Brandon Cooks is going to play this week.
I don't either.
What do you think? What do you think,
I think he's going to want to, but Mike McCarthy's been kind of play it safe guy. Sit him so we don't have to put him on IR later on. I think he's going to campaign as much as he can, and Mike's going to be like, we'll see you next week. Jordan Lewis is another name we didn't mention either.
Sure.
We've heard multiple reports really for the last 6 weeks that he's saying, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go, and we just haven't seen him yet. So I don't know. I don't think he'll play this week either.
But the thing to note is that he's not on the injury report. So maybe he just, will be out there and we'll see. We'll be on the sideline,
The way it's being reported is that It's about him getting into football shape. It's nothing to do with
Yeah,
the injury at this
yeah.
moment. It's just him getting into football shape, and whenever they kind of look at it and give him the check mark there, as you say, Mary, he's not on the injury report anymore. It's just about when they feel comfortable with him in football shape. So we'll have to wait and see. Right now, for what it's worth, haven't had to use him yet. We'll see after this week, so on and so forth. But you got Bland in there, and we see what he's doing, obviously. But it's always great to have a guy like Jordan Lewis in the wings if you do run into an issue with some injuries. And we'll wait and see how long that comes around. But let's go over to these Jets, the Jets. Jets.
Can't wait.
Right? Yeah.
Let's go.
Can't
Bart
wait.
Scott.
Right. Yeah, Bart Scott action. Let's get to the strengths. Oh, no. Well, what are some of the strengths here when it comes to the Jets?
I mean, they have elite quarterback play with Zach Wilson, so that's definitely something we have to throw out there to start with. I'm just kidding. So they have really good wide receivers, and they have a very good defensive line. I'll talk about some of the wide receivers and let the D line go to you guys because there's a lot of meat there individually you can talk about. They have Garrett Wilson. He had a phenomenal rookie year, had one of the best catches of the season already, week 1. So he's off to and it's kind of unfortunate because you can imagine what he would have done with an entire season with Aaron Rodgers. But either way, he's a very good receiver, a young player that makes plays. And then they have Alan Lazard, who's kind of a different body type than Garrett Wilson. He's a taller receiver. They have some receivers that can beat you. It's really going to come down to, can the quarterback get them the ball? Are they going to even try to throw the ball a lot? We don't really know what the game plan is with Zach Wilson. We assume they're probably going to go run heavy and safer passes just so he doesn't make the big mistake. But they do have some receivers that you have to worry about. And if you look at week 1's matchup, wide receiver wise versus week 2, the Jets wide receiver room is significantly better than what we saw from the Giants. The Giants have a lot of young players that are developing, but they're not even close to where the Jets are. The Jets have, Aaron Rodgers, former Dallas Cowboy receiver and former Packers receiver, Randall Cobb. They have Mecole Hardman, who complained about his usage week 1. So are they going to try to get him in the game plan? He's a guy with deep speed and can be used as a gadget guy with jet sweeps and things like that, and also as a returner. So they have some good receivers. That's one of the strengths of their team. But I'll let you guys chat about the rest.
Yeah.
I was ready to let you cook.
I mean, shut that thing up. Oh, let me chef it up. Get in there. It's Friday. We hungry. Spoon, you look at these Jets, man. What's the strength that you're looking at over here for the Jets?
Oh, of course, defensive line. You have guys like Quentin Williams. You have guys like Franklin Myers. Carl Lawson has been injured, but Jermaine Johnson, who was drafted last year, has been very tremendous for them. He's been one of the most active guys on the line. So, when it comes to that Jets defensive front, that's going to be the test of how can our offensive line, we don't have Tyler Smith. Can Chuba have a game like he did last week against the New York Giants, against this New York Jets team? It's a big front. They like to clog up that middle. So I know it's going to be kind of rough for this Cowboys to get the running game in the middle. You more like want to attack the edges. So that's to me is where the strength is at.
Okay, Dom, as you look at these Jets here, what are you looking at another one of their strengths?
If there's anything that I would want to take off of the Jets team other than the, low-hanging fruit of Quentin Williams or the Sauce Gardner, I'd take C.J. Mosley, who's a linebacker who's been playing well for them. Former Raven, we know the kind of toughness that that particular division brings with the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and whatnot. But he's been able to come over there, signed a huge contract with them, and been one of the guys who's been able to see the Jets etch ever so closely to being a contending type team. And so it is unfortunate that what happened to Rodgers has happened, but CJ Mosley is one of those defensive guys who's definitely a cornerstone player, a leader of that team, and he played solid. Whenever I went back and I watched their tape of this first game, one thing that I was impressed by was their linebackers not being sucked up with play action. They were able to fill the hole. They did extremely well against Buffalo and Josh Allen. So overall, I'm looking at this game and I'm seeing an entire defensive unit at all three levels have a playmaker on it. Just like we have it, they also have it. So this is going to be a nice matchup. There's games within the game that are going to come out. There's storylines to this thing. And so this is one of the top defenses in the entire league. And Dallas, we actually see our team play the best defenses in all of the league when it comes to San Francisco. Even Washington has a solid defense. So this is another game where it's going to be interesting. One kind of unique, quirky thing about the schedule is that we play NFC, AFC, and we interchange that for the first 6 games. And so this is one of those games when I think about guys on the injury report, it is an out-of-conference game. You don't want to drop any, but this seems like one of those showdowns where you might want to go ahead and rest a guy like Cooks. Go ahead and allow Tyler Smith to have that extra week of rest because you played well last week. You're going to lean on the defense, and you just hope the offense doesn't get in the way. So unique matchup. They have a great defense, and we get to see what our offense can do against a team like this before our showdown with San Francisco.
Okay. Mary, strength here? Maybe that's secondary? What you think?
Well, I mean, I get that, but my answer in general is, Brees Hall. I mean, he had a great game his first week, and the run game has been something that we've all been hoping for, like our defense to get better at. We didn't really get to test it a lot because they kind of gave up. They just kind of threw in the towel, like that first drive, and they had a few good runs, but overall they gave up. They definitely did. And so I feel like with Aaron Rodgers getting injured and Zach Wilson being back in the lineup, in our run defense being average at best for the past, how many years, that they're going to go in there, try to run the ball down our throats and see if we can stop it.
Right.
And that's what I'm worried about.
And look, they got a deep running back room too. Not just we saw like Dalvin Cook, Carter. I mean, one of the deepest running back rooms in the league. That is he from? Yeah, is he from Pitt as well? Ricky out of Pitt. So I mean, they're a very deep room, and that is and we'll kind of get into maybe that's a game plan when we get into the keys to the game here a little bit. Let's flip the switch here and let's go into their weaknesses.
Wait, you didn't give us yours.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all got it covered here, guys.
We definitely got to mention the corner.
I mean, I'll go to the secondary. Obviously, I mean, look, right? Their safety 3 interceptions last week, run in the middle, right? And then of course Sauce. Although Sauce not a great game, he gave us some yards and some things, but it's Sauce Gardner. I mean, DJ Reed, what it is.
He had a bad game with like 62 yards or something like that.
Sauce is getting that Diggs treatment now, where every single game it's like, how many times was he targeted? Receptions, yards. For most players, so kudos him for being there. But and they have DJ Reed opposite of him, and DJ Reed, kind of exploded onto the scene the last 2 years. So they have one of the better 1-2 punches at cornerback in the NFL.
They do.
Yeah, and once again, Whitehead, 3 interceptions. And part of his contract got him $250,000 Monday night.
It was supposed to be for the season. He got it.
Yeah, he did it in one game. He needs to go back to hey, look, I got these 3. Can we do another 3 and I get another 250? Like, what do we do? Yeah. Can we extend this out a little bit? But some of it is the pressure they bring up front, where Spunny was talking about defensive line, right? And obviously done with the linebackers. I mean, every level is. As we looked at the Giants last week, we said, hey, look, their defensive line is where it's at, right? They upgraded linebacker, but they're still trying to get there. And then, of course, they had issues in the secondary. Not the situation here when it comes to the Jets. They have somebody at every single level, a very solid defense who didn't give up a lot of points last year. So and we'll kind of get into how that's going to feed in here. And, of course, the other big thing, right, is, look, who's that head coach? And where did he come from? San Francisco, defensive coordinator. He's going to run the same scheme. So this is another test, if you will, or the first test, I guess we could say, for Mike McCarthy versus that defense in the Texas coast, and with all the things y'all talked about. Now we'll flip over to the weaknesses, Professor O. What's the weakness for you here when it comes to the Jets?
Yeah, so this is their offensive line. I mean, their offensive line is worse than the Giants' offensive line. Like, they're bad. Aaron Rodgers got injured very early into the game 4 plays into the game, and then Zach Wilson took hit after hit after hit. Their offensive line is not very good in pass pro. They're not bad in run blocking, but they're not good in pass pro at all. Neither tackle is very good. Their inside's not very good. Like the Cowboys should absolutely feast whenever they do drop back pass. So their offensive line is a huge weakness for their team. I won't be surprised at all if they're one of the teams. We heard, I guess we'll call it a surprise release of La'el Collins being cut by the Bengals. Obviously recovering from an ACL injury still, but there's rumors that there's up to 12 teams interested. I won't be surprised at all if the Jets are one of the teams trying to call him up and find a spot for him, just because I don't even know what he has to offer at this point, but their offensive line is that weak where they probably should be looking at any candidate they can, like a Dalton Risner or whoever it may be.
10-4. Yeah, Becton. And of course, interesting enough, both their tackles were limited all week in practice as well for them.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've heard very different things from some Jets people that, well, they're just on limited count. They're going to do that for a while. I just kind of scratched my head with that. But, I mean, we'll wait and see when it gets to game time if that matters for anything or not. So, all right, out there. Dom, what is there another weakness here for the Jets? We know the offensive line. Is there another weakness that you're looking at from them?
I want to go a little bit further with that. Lakin
Sure.
Tomlinson, left guard. That's the guy. Key on that guy right there. Connor McGovern, their center, not our former Connor McGovern, did a fairly good job pass blocking and run blocking, but the left side, and that's the side that Micah likes to rush off of. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. To me, the other part of their team that I kind of look at and I go, all right, we need to go ahead and attack that, is the quarterback. I mean, it is what
Damn, I didn't think of that.
My goodness, it is what it is. And so I'm assuming that their game plan will be to put him in advantageous spots where it's, second and short, third and short, get the ball out of his hand extremely fast because they attempted to do that. Don't allow him to try to throw deep, maybe a couple times to try to open it up, but with consistency, they're going to throw it anywhere from behind the line of scrimmage to within 5 yards and try to let their playmakers go. But I think that plays into the hands of Dallas because of the speed that we have. So try to take away that run game. Let Zach Wilson beat you. And I just don't know if he has what it takes to be able to beat this Cowboys team.
Okay. All right, well, just doing weaknesses there, but there's a little game plan in action. I like it. I like it. The run defense for them, if you in the position, and you talked about this a little bit earlier before too, and looking at it, Buffalo had opportunities to run the ball on them at times, and I don't think they have a running back of the ilk of Tony Pollard, and some of that is alignment from them in the wide nine at times of what they're getting into, and which matches up well in our offensive line scheme where we're seeing the pulls and stuff. There's going to be some opportunities here for our run game, but yes, their run defense to me a little bit of a weakness. Not that they can't play the run well, but alignments and things, the Cowboys, I think, can dictate some things there. So run defense a little for them as far as weakness goes. Mary,
that's a good call out. And just the wide nine defense in general, the way that defensive front is, and for those that don't know, a wide nine means your defensive end is way out there. He's not head up, shading a couple yards. He's way outside. So when you have a defense alignment that's that spread, you're really counting on your two interior guys and your linebackers being able to shed blocks and make plays. If they don't, if your offensive line, like a Zach Martin or Chuma Edoga, is able to solo one of the inside guys and you're able to get the center guard to the next level, you can get easy 7, 8, 9 yard runs against that type of defense alignment. The other thing, too, is from a pass rushing standpoint, that defensive alignment can be a huge boon or a huge bust, depending on how the offensive line plays it, because the defensive end coming off that edge is not looping around. He's basically beelining it in a straight angle. And if you have a quick offensive tackle who's strong, like a Terrence Steele, you can completely shut that guy out of the game. And that also allows easy step up lanes for the quarterback in the pocket to move around. So that type of defense alignment, you're banking on your two inside guys winning, because if they don't, it's going to be a long game for you, both in pass rush and run defense.
Yeah. And I like it. I'm glad you brought that up because they don't have edge rushers that are really bendy kind of guys. They really don't rely on second and third counters and all these unique pass rushing moves. Their guys are straightforward. They try to use speed to power, It's really more of a bulldozing type of a thing. So I think that plays well with our offensive tackles. So you just hope they're able to hold up. So it's a nice matchup, but I think we're going to edge them out even in that department.
It makes me wonder if we see some Will McDonald action this week. Like, we didn't see much of him week 1. He was a guy that we know DQ liked, and he could be the potentially quick bendy guy for them. Jermaine Johnson, that Spoon mentioned earlier, former Bulldogs, so Go Dogs, and FSU for Mendoza in the chat. I think he's poised for a huge season, but again, I agree with Dom. I don't think he's that super fast twitch guy like a early career Von Miller that, you know, is just going to explode off the snap and beat you. He's going to use that combination of speed and power, and that plays into what our tackles do. So that's going to be an interesting matchup for sure.
And Quincy Williams as well. You know,
Quincy Williams from my bigger
he's a sideline linebacker, so that's another threat. I know Dom spoke about C.J. Mosley, but Quincy Williams. You saw that Buffalo Bills game. He was going sideline to sideline every time John Cook was in that ball towards the edge. So again, they're strong in all three phases of the game on that defense. But against the run, you can't get them.
All right, let's get to the Jets players to look out for. Mary, I know you kind of mentioned Brees Hall about their strength. Is that the player to watch on the Jets for you?
I mean, I definitely think that is their whole game plan.
Okay.
You know, I love the idea of them, you know, rallying behind Zach, because that's what they need to do, because the guy they thought was going to take them there got hurt so soon. But if they really believed in him like they say they do, Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been there to begin with. So they're gonna try to make things way easier for him. And the run game has been a thorn in our side, even as we slowly get better. You know, last year I think we were 22 by the time the year ended. Check me on that. I'm not sure, but I think we're around 22, and that's still not good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. There's only 32 teams. So
Right.
So, you know, I think that's what they're gonna do is, you know, they're gonna keep doing that. So like I said, we didn't really get an opportunity to test that. We hope that we're better. We have actually made steps to be better. We've gotten more fatties.
More fatties. Team
we
fatties.
Hope that they're ready, but they're really going to pull it in. So that is literally my main worry, because if they, you know, if we can't ever stop that, then this is going to be a long game. I do believe that we can, though.
All right, so Brees Hall's the player to watch. Got it.
If he's
going over, well, give me a player. Give me one player. One Jets player you're watching, Mary. Give it to me that we should pay attention to. I know they got a room of them. I know they do have a room of them. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. But who's the one?
Well, okay. I still feel like it's him, but like Quentin Williams as well. It's just obvious.
Let Mary cook. Just let Mary cook. Let's go, Mary.
I mean, that should be obvious to anybody.
Yeah, Mary said, I'm back. Hey, we got a question from the panel here. Question for all the panel. Would you rather be an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator? Oh, this is interesting for you in your current state of affairs of coaching your son from where you were last year to this year, and some aggravation. So what would you rather be, an offensive or a defensive coordinator?
Oh, for me, it's easy, actually. So my son's team, I was an offensive coordinator the last 3 seasons, and then this year, defensive coordinator. And when I coached 8th grade football, I was a defensive coordinator. For me, it's OC all day. You can just do so much, and they have to counter what I'm doing. Like, I know the snap count, you don't know the snap count. Like, we have more in our favor. The rules favor me and my personnel groupings over the defensive players. So I think I love offense. I'm gonna go offense all day. So OC for me. I think most people are probably gonna pick DC, but OC for me.
So don't ruin it yet. Let him answer. Spoony.
Defense for me.
Oh well, there it is.
I already knew.
Oh no.
Defense for me is easy. You know, you ride the guys up, hit them up, shut them up. You know, X and Y, put them in the right position. For me, with offense, it's like you got to develop a quarter. It's a lot. offensive line. But Professor O, he's good in what he does, and he played wide receiver, so I could definitely understand. He's very creative in his craft. But for me, it's defense.
Dom, where you at? OC or DC?
I'm gonna switch it up. Just let me be O-line coach. I'll be.
I mean,
I will be.
I knew he was gonna say that.
I will be
I mean, it's
Matt O-line coach. You be
Dream
the
team.
OC. Man, we got this thing.
Okay, Mary, you offensive coordinator,
I
defensive
definitely want
coordinator.
to be a DC. I just want to hit people and like, like
Yeah.
as soon as you hit them, like I want to be there.
We'll be calling that 46 there all day long.
Well,
I can see it right now. Mary, the players are in the sideline looking at Mary like, "What are we running?" And she's like, "Run, hit, talk shit, just go."
Yeah.
Like
Right.
just line up and go.
That's what I want, literally.
Like, don't take it, let it hang. Go after him. What you do in the camera?
And they're like, "What's
Yeah, I like
the
that.
play?" I'm like,
What you said.
"Fucking do it." Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
So here we are. It's split here 2-2, evenly balanced. And I was a two-way guy. I played tight end, and I also played outside linebacker. So, with that being said,
Special teams.
they do matter. They do matter. Damn it, they do matter.
No, be the tiebreaker.
But if I got two
You can't be
offensive
boned.
guys and I got two defensive guys, I'll just be HC and I'll just let them run the thing? Can I do that? But no, that's chicken way out.
Are you gonna be
Man,
Jason Garrett?
look, I'm over here. I'm over here with Mary and Spoon, man. We want to go run, hit, and talk shit. That's where I'm a defensive coordinator at heart. That's where it's at. We'll have Spoony
You
give him the
better not
sermon.
let them cross this line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't want them gain another yard.
You blitz all night.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Yeah, I mean, we'll get Spoony.
Leave
give him the
them, no
sermon.
doubt.
Mary grabbing people by the face mask, and I'm like,
Leave, no doubt. There
I
you
said
go.
a little bit. I'm down a little bit, but I'm like, no, Mary, go do it again.
We in there.
Great question. We appreciate the question.
We gonna be champions. We gonna be champions.
Yeah, that part. That part. If not, we'll just look at O and Dom say, save us, please. Oh, goodness gracious. But yeah, I just saw, can you call in? Yeah, sure. It's a Return of the Freestyle Friday. It should be pinned at the top as well to hit the link and come up here. Anybody in the building, and I dropped the link again. So yeah, it's freestyle. It's a Return of Freestyle Friday. The lines are definitely open for anybody in the building. All right, so I look, we had a good long break since Mary took all the team, but we don't remember now. So, who's the guy to look for on the Jets?
Well, Mary got the top 45 guys on the roster, so there's a guy that called up from practice squad this week that might be dangerous. So I'm gonna go with Garrett Wilson, which I know is gonna sound weird because of Zach Wilson at quarterback, and we think they're gonna run the ball. But when you're playing a defense like with the caliber of players that the Dallas Cowboys have, you're going to have to make them respect you from a passing standpoint somehow. Is it wide receiver screens? Are you doing double moves on Trayvon Diggs or Gilmore? Like, you have to do something to make the Cowboys defense respect you. Otherwise, even if you're playing a team that's not on the upper echelon in run defense, it's going to be a long day for you. So I have to feel like he's the best playmaker they have on their roster right now. They're going to get him involved. I just don't know how they're going to do that. So I don't know if that's moving him in motion, trying to get him caught up with the linebacker or what, but he's a playmaker, and we saw last week with Zach Wilson against the Bills defense, they still found a way to get him the ball in the end zone, and he made a play. So he's the guy that I'm concerned with. I do want to mention too, Mary mentioning Breece Hall among the other guys she named. Breece Hall had an 83-yard run. That's huge. You can't allow that big play. But aside from that run, they had 27 carries for 89 yards. That's 3.5 yards per carry, 3.27 yards per carry, something like that. So that's not super impressive. But when you have him, Dalvin Cook, I don't think Izzy's really going to be a factor.
Carter will.
And then Carter, you can still run the ball though. There's plenty of guys there that could hurt you, but we have Hankins, and that matters. So, but Garrett Wilson for me.
Yeah, Spoony, or your player to watch.
It's actually two players, same position. Same position. It's same position. I was gonna say Conklin and Uzama. I saw last week against the Buffalo Bills, there was a lot of 3 tight end movement up front. So what I'm saying
you
is,
just gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with it.
I know it's Friday. I
It's
know.
Conklin. It's Conklin. I'll put Conklin.
Now give me. Now it's gonna give you both of them. It's fine, Swin. Go ahead,
No,
Brock. Do
I
you think,
just
brother?
I just feel that they're gonna expect us to get out there to Of course, you got to watch Gavin Wilson. Of course, you got to watch the other receiving coach. But I think they're going to make the game easier for Zach Wilson, throw a lot of short passes. Even though in the Titans will be utilizing the running game very heavy, I just think the tight ends are going to be the ones to watch, especially if they do a play action pass. In my opinion, because of the amount of runs they're going to have.
Okay, Dom. There's not. I know there's not much left on the plate, and you can repeat somebody else's if you need to. But just put it to pay attention to.
Well, my guy has two names.
Okay.
But it's just one guy.
Okay.
Dennis Dwayne DJ Reed Jr. So DJ Reed, he's the guy that I'm looking forward to seeing how he matches up with whoever he's going to be up with. So we already know Sauce Gardner is the number one guy, but he is the guy opposite of that. And he played a great game last week. He's been a solid guy in his 6-year career coming out of Kansas State, but being 5'9", 180, I'm looking at the kind of receivers that we have with our profile. Even if Cooks isn't going, I want to see what he has against our guy. So DJ Reed is the guy I'm looking for because he's the one you probably want to pick on more than a Sauce Gardner.
All right. Well, new season, back to Freestyle Fridays, and back to Toxic Tom Takes. Toxic Tom is in the building. Good sir. How are we doing?
Up, man? Good to see you.
I just watched my Orioles get the ass beat out of them, so this is my my positive vibes right here. How's everybody?
Doing fantastic, man. It's good to see you. You came in right on cue. If you look, maybe you didn't hear everybody. Mary took 40 guys. Sweeney took 2.
Just took 1.
Dom took 2. O understood the assignment. Took 1. Dom took 1 guy with 2 names. So a player from the Jets that you're paying attention to, or the Cowboys should pay attention to for you.
For me, pretty easy. My wife is from Des Moines, Iowa, and her entire family went to Iowa State. It's Breece Hall. I think he is the easy button right now for this Jets offense, the guy they're going to be relying on to help the young rookie MILF hunting quarterback that really needs to get all the help he can get. So I think if Dallas is able to set the tone real quick, wrap up, I definitely think if you shut down Breece Hall, you have a way better chance of making this Jets defense one-dimensional, which is what we want.
10-4. And speaking of that, it's going to lead us right into it. Keys to victory for the Jets. I think it's pretty much this simple, and it's scary in a certain extent because he had this happen with the Giants, and the Giants kind of played in our defensive hands. We want to force Zach Wilson to beat us. That's exactly what they're going to do, though, in running the ball. So you got to be careful what you wish for. I think the Jets' key to victory, obviously, is running the ball, not getting away from it, try to shorten this game down, keep our offense off the field, and protect Zach Wilson. That's where I land. That's just really what it boils down to. And as you said earlier, Dom, I think it was you, Dom, the passes of the screen, quick, out of your hand, because he did, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was over 3 seconds against the Bills that he was holding on to the ball. That's not going to work against the Cowboys. And that's, but again, that was a game plan that was for Aaron Rodgers. This game plan will look much different, in my opinion, because it is Zach Wilson. But the key to the Jets is have a successful run game and keep the Cowboys offense off there. Anybody wants to jump in there and think, or add on to that, by all means, go right ahead.
Yeah, I think what you said sums it up well. I think there's one other factor that's going to come into play for this game. I don't think the Jets have any chance at all to beat the Cowboys if they don't win the turnover battle. They have to win that. They need a game like they had against the Bills.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a 3-interception game or anything like that, but they cannot lose the turnover battle or it's going to get ugly for them.
Boom. Anybody else?
Agree.
Perfect.
No, I definitely agree with what Matto said. Just going through Jets fan Twitter, I don't know if they've watched a lot of Cowboys games, but they think that, last year with Dak is just who he is all the time. And so I think they're banking on, he's going to throw like 4 interceptions. We're good. And, I think most of us know and believe that he's not that guy all the time. So I definitely think we win the turnover battle. I put in my notes, like, we get up early And like I feel like if we win the toss and our defense gets the ball first, our offense is going to go out there and like after all this week of they didn't do anything, even though they did do something.
Scored 27
They're just
points.
gonna they're just gonna throw the ball, downfield for something crazy and get it, and that's what I think.
Yeah, and
I think that's part of it though. Dak and Josh Allen last year having the turnovers, and then week 1, Josh Allen had the turnovers, so they're thinking we're going to see the same thing from Dak, but we have a better running game, we have a better offensive line, we have a much better defense. It's not the same. I think that they're kind of lumping them together and just assuming. And we all know takeaways are, unless you're the Cowboys, knock on wood, are not easy to do on a year-to-year basis from a defensive standpoint. So what happens from the offense turning the ball over year to year usually has volatility there too. And Dak was clean week 1, and a game where, frankly, if he threw an interception in a monsoon, it wasn't a monsoon, but heavy rain, you wouldn't have really been too upset. You're like, I get it. And he still played a pretty clean game. So
right, and we can't forget that it's easy for a young quarterback to be able to catch lightning in a bottle. We've seen the Jets have a young quarterback that actually did that against our Cowboys, and Sam Darnold, when they had a fantastic game, I think back in 2018 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, there is a route where they could potentially, come out and surprise us a little bit by having Wilson play maybe the best game of his life. And if they, like Professor O say, win the turnover battle, it's easy to see a Jets team with that strong of a defense be able to hang around and be able to make it a good game late. And so then you're testing what do the Cowboys truly have.
10-4. All right. I'll start over here with Tom. Who's the Cowboys player you're keeping an eye on for this game?
For me, guy I'm wearing, the commander, Dak Prescott. He's on the redemption tour. People say Dak can't beat good defenses. Dak can't read defenses. Dak can't do a lot of things. And I think a lot of what we're seeing now, and a lot of Cowboy fans who are ignorant to what they just witnessed last week, was a complete game plan that from the top down was built around the offense and its strengths in a monsoon. I can honestly say this is the first time in a while I think our coaching staff is putting Dak Prescott and the offense in a good position to succeed. But it all starts with number 4, so he's my man on this.
Professor O, who's the guy to look for the Cowboys? Saving you for last this time, Mary.
I mean, I was really looking for whatever scrap I could pull out after Mary was done. So the guy for me, and this is going to be maybe not one that you guys would think of, but I'm going to go with Michael Gallup. So it's kind of interesting that Dom mentioned we saw this with Sam Darnold against the Cowboys. Michael Gallup, one of the worst games of his career, was against the Jets in that exact same game. He's coming off of a year last year. He's coming off of a year last year where he was recovering from an injury and wasn't his normal self. And Brandon Cooks looks like he's probably not going to be a go. We didn't see a lot from Michael Gallup week 1 because we didn't need it. This is a good game. You're going against a good secondary, a good defense in general. Like, this is a good opportunity for you to show I'm back. That spring in my step that I felt like I had in training camp is here. Like, this is real. Jalen Tolbert, completely makes sense. Any of the receivers you could mention, but I feel like Michael Gallup this game could matter. Like, you mentioned the size difference between a DJ Reed versus a Michael Gallup. Like, that could be a deciding factor of the game at some point, a jump ball situation or a boxing out for a big first down. So Michael Gallup's kind of an under the radar game for this type of matchup because we're probably not expecting the Cowboys to go throw 45 passing attempts or anything either, but he's a guy that could be a difference maker. And I'm interested to see how he does against their secondary. And it's probably worth noting too, a lot of people say they run a lot of cover 2 because Saleh did that for the 49ers. They actually don't run a lot of cover 2. They ran the highest cover 3 and cover 4 rate in the NFL last year. But what they do is they have 2 deep safeties that roll into a cover 3 look. So a lot of times they're using Sauce in man coverage, and then they have a corner and both safeties take deep zone. So it looks like cover 2 pre-snap, but it's actually cover 3 and cover 4. But either way, I'm going to stick with Michael Gallup. He's my guy.
All right, Spoonie, who's the guy to look out for the Cowboys?
For me, Jake Ferguson. I think Jake Ferguson wants to have a better game than he did last week. He has some drop passes. He has 7 targets though, so I really do think in this game there's no bad weather, but they're home, and I really do think he's going to get back to rhythm with Dak Prescott and be able to score some points. And they're going to be blocking a lot this game, in my opinion. So I think that's the guy for me to look out for.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in and piggyback. That was my guy too, so I'll go ahead and land the plane here as well before we get to Dom and Mary. It's Ferguson for me, and simply put, with this defense and what they're doing, and I think what they're going to try to get to with this passing game, I think Ferguson's going to, again, you went back to the 7, right? I think there's going to be some of that play action, roll out, hit the tight end on the move, the quick, short, intermediate stuff to him. So yeah, I think Jake Ferguson, I think he has a bounce back game. I think he's going to have forget a bounce back game. I think he's going to have a big game, to be honest with you. I really do, because in this offense and throwing the ball in those realms to him, he has the capabilities. It's not Jason Witten. He's going to catch it, fall for it for 2 more yards. He can do things and get downfield. So I actually think Jake Ferguson is going to have a big game this week. So he's the guy to watch for me as well, too. Go right ahead, Dom.
I think I know who he's going to say.
No, you won't. No, you're not.
I think I do. Go ahead.
Oh, Damone Clark.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
Damone Clark is the one I'm looking at, because last week, whenever I saw him play, he looked lost a bit. He didn't look like he actually saw plays develop as well as you would like for him to see it. Everyone else played around him like out of their mind, to where he kind of got lost a little bit. And then you see Bell come in and make these spark plays and have 8 tackles, 6 solo, 2 that were just completely splash plays. He seemed to read things in the flat, like he covered his zone well. And it's like, wow, okay, that's what we were hoping Jabril Cox would look like in wearing that same 14 jersey. Then I'm looking at number 33, and it's like, okay, go make the play, go fill the hole. Get that offensive lineman off of you. And he weren't doing those things like I was hoping to see him do. And we've been talking about the year 2 leap. We know that this run defense is going to be challenged. They're going to be challenged in the interior. And Damone Clark had the most snaps in the box of any Cowboys defender, including over Leighton Vander Esch. I almost said Vander Esch for this. The sneak in number 2. But no, it is Clark.
Core. You only got 2 of them anyways.
Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to step up? Are you going to man the middle? Because we need you this week to be able to be successful in spotting those plays.
10-4. Mary, the rest of the team is yours. Go right ahead.
Well, I did have a lot of answers, but my top one was actually what Toxic Tom Downey said, Dak. I think that's his game this week is extremely important. After coming off of last season, they want a lot of people. I don't know about, I'm not going to get into specifics, but they try to act like, oh, we treat everybody the same. No, you don't. And, he acts like he doesn't listen. He does a good job of acting like he doesn't listen, but he listens. The team listens. And so after last week, even though we won by 40, that was a whole issue. Like, he didn't do much. And I think that, at home opener, it's going to be a big thing. We got a new coordinator, and, we talked about this in the chat as far as I asked Matt, I was like, wait, the throw time was different. Like, I could see certain differences outside of the formations and the play calling. I could see the difference in getting rid of the ball. And it was a huge difference. I think you said in week 1, it was 2.11. And then last year it was an average of 2.71. Like, that's crazy. That is insane. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's an eternity in the quarterback getting rid of the ball.
So I just knew that I'm sorry, Mary, go ahead.
No, keep going.
I just knew that Dom was going to go Chuma Edoga. I just knew it. I knew in my head he was going to say it's the too many Dugga revenge game. He's coming off of a surprisingly good week 1, going against another good matchup, and
I literally
the Jets
almost said
drafted him in the 3rd round. He gets I knew he was going that route, but
he was one of my 40. Okay, he was one of my 40.
we all said that this offensive line.
You're okay.
Yeah, we all said that the offensive line is terrible. So it's kind of surprising that none of us took the defensive pass rush like an Osa or Dorrance Armstrong, Micah, Tank, anybody like that. I think we all just expect that, I guess.
It's just about the offense, just because, even though we know it was rain and we knew the game plan and they did exactly what they needed to do. It's exciting to hear about a new game plan, and you really want to see it at its best, and that's what we're all waiting for.
10-4, and I got AA runs in the building. How we doing, brother?
What's up, guys? How's my volume?
You good?
Good. Sounds great.
Nice.
New season. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to let him get both guys? Want to do the Jets and the Cowboys? Cool.
Yeah. Give me the one guy to look out for the Jets and one guy the Cowboys should pay attention to for the Cowboys.
It's pretty easy for the Jets. For me, it's Quentin Williams. Just because he can wreak havoc. He can do 1-man, 2-man. He can 2-gap. He can 1-gap. He's like top 3 defensive tackle probably in the league that I've seen. And I know Dak doesn't really like pressure up the middle. That's when you see sometimes Dak will stand in and he'll take that hit, but it'll mess him up a little bit. So Quinn's the one I'll be watching for sure.
All right. And who's the guy to pay attention to for the Cowboys?
Okay, so for the Cowboys, this is 100% Mike McCarthy.
Ooh,
and I know we're supposed to pick. I know we're supposed to pick a player.
No, I like it.
The Jets play the exact scheme that gave Kellen Moore's offense so much trouble. So now we get to see the difference in the offense playing against this cover 4 match defense.
Right there.
And I'm super excited to see not all curls and hitches running to match coverage. So it's going to be a big game for him. I want to see the levels. I want to see the boots and the waggles with the 3 levels, your dump off, your corner, your deep, which that's what stresses cover 4. So I'm really, 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 really excited to see if he, is on his game for this.
Right. Oh, touchdown or check down, is where it's at. I'm not with you. I've been preaching that all week about that match.
Be careful. So this is the one thing I saw, because I cannot stand Josh Allen. All my buddies make fun of me. They think I don't know football because I don't like Josh Allen. And so what they do in cover 4 is the immediate person. Sorry, you can't see me. The first person to hit to the flat, the outside backer or cornerback will match them. So you don't have a dump off. So this might be a little challenging for you to throw to Pollard, or you say you want to get the ball out quick. That cover 4 jumps all over that. So it's more the middle level.
Yeah, run some angles, some Texas.
Send him deep. So it's going to be more of that 10-yard throw that we want Dak to get to. So just be careful with the flat throw. That's a pick.
10-4. Like I said, it's an amazing matchup coming up here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, let's get to it. We went up and down on this Jets preview. Now it's time for predictions. Toxic. What's your score prediction for this game?
All right, so this is the home opener. So I'd be foolish to not pick Dallas, but I will throw an extra cherry on top. They cover the spread. I have Dallas winning. I know. I have Dallas winning 35-20, and I think that they will definitely capitalize on this one-dimensional Jets offense. So I'll say 35-20. The game MVP, I'm going to say, keep it consistent, is going to be Dakota Rain Prescott, #revenge.
10-4. You think Zach and them can get 20? You're telling me the run game's not fixed for the Cowboys defense, and if they're scoring 20.
I think some of that scoring is going to be on garbage time. So if I could have went in more details. I definitely think Dallas, top to bottom, has a more complete team. They have a lot more answers. They have more depth. And from top to bottom, in all three phases of the game. And I trust Mike McCarthy and that he has his staff in place and that Jerry Jones's bastard children are no longer on that coaching staff.
Oh, God.
I trust Mike McCarthy, and I know Dak wants
I
this.
like him.
As Aaron put it, I didn't want to get too into deep, but this is the same style type of defense that gave the boy genius who just blew a game in Los Angeles. This is the same thing that gave him fits. I'm tired of losing, and I'm tired of losing to the Jets. We have not beaten them since 2007. Mollywop them. Just destroy them, and let's leave New York in the dust.
10-4. Hey, Ron, give me that score.
All right, so I think we're going to kick a few field goals, and we'll also score touchdowns. So let me see. 23-10.
23-10. All right. Dom, you poured that Kool-Aid. You poured some Kool-Aid over there, Dom? You poured a little bit of Kool-Aid? What you?
Oh, he ready. I love the props, Dom. Dom, I love the props because he had flowers. Now he got Kool-Aid.
Oh, no, hold on, man. Pull that Kool-Aid back out real quick, brother. Hang on. Pull that Kool-Aid.
Oh, pour it up.
Pour it on up then.
Now, let me tell you my secret.
Okay.
Go to the dollar store. No, not Dollar General, Dollar Store.
Dollar Store, yes,
Get
yes.
you some of this lemonade. Put you a little cherry packet in there and a half of another one. Just mix it around.
Okay.
Perfect Kool-Aid. Perfect Kool-Aid.
Okay. Well, you got that Kool-Aid rocking. Let me get that
I'll
score.
take your word for it, Dom. I'll take your word for it.
You know, it's funny. Like, I feel like I'm on a Price is Right now, so I should have had a Plinko thing behind me or something. But, man, I'm about to one-up AA Run. I'm about to just one-up you because my score was 24-10. Dallas over the Jets.
Okay. 24-10. Boy, well, I'm going to throw out there, Dom, because I've had this score since Wednesday. We're close. Man, these cats ain't getting no touchdown, dog. I'm sorry. They're not getting a touchdown. I'm not saying the shutout. They're not getting a touchdown. If this run defense is taking the step forward and we believe them to be who they are, they're not getting a touchdown. Yeah, I said it. 24-9 Cowboys. That's where I'm at. They get 3 field goals. No tutties. Mary? Yes,
like, I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all got my heart beating fast. I don't like giving predictions, and I've been giving them even though I don't like it. And then I start listening to y'all, and my heart beating fast.
Come on.
I'm going with, you know what? 31-12.
Oh, 31-12. No touchdowns over here. All field goals. I like it, man. Right?
Yeah. I feel what you were saying. It resonated with my heart. It resonated. Man,
Zach Wilson ain't getting no tutties. Ain't no way Zach Wilson getting no tutties, man. I ain't hearing. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Spoony, give me. Oh wait, Spoony, you want to save your score for the sermon, or you want to drop your score now?
He looked very serious.
Okay.
People want it now, Spoony. We need it.
45-12.
What score?
45-12.
Oh,
45-12. Another 40 burger.
Dang.
Back-to-back 40 burgers. Somebody called the 40 burger last week. He was right.
He was right.
All I could think about.
And Spoony don't even try to explain his. He don't even try to
the game. Matter of fact, this is the business. 45. You heard me. Through with it.
Yeah, he just says it, mic dropping. No context.
I got nothing else to say here. I got Bruce has got the juice. The toxic juice is in the building. Bruce, how you doing, man?
What it do, man? My guess was gonna be a little more modest before Spoon Stradamus dropped the mic there, but I was looking at a little something more like 35-17. But I'm all for the 40 burgers if we get another week of that.
That gummit, Bruce. I don't think they're scoring a touchdown. I'm dying on this hill. I don't think Zach Wilson scored a touchdown against us. Ain't no way. I'll give him 9. I'll give him 3 field goals.
I'm on the Knicks train right now.
Let's go. Yeah, on the Knicks train, man. Come on, this defense, man. We ain't giving up no touchdowns, Juice. We ain't giving up no touchdowns, dadgummit. That's where I'm at.
Hey, if they keep the shutouts rolling, I'm even better with that. I mean, I was already lit before halftime.
Me too, bro. Me too.
Awesome. Oh, maybe you want to bring us back down to reality a little bit, or you got the Kool-Aid over here? Or,
I'm kind of in the middle. So the Jets haven't given up a 30-point game since week 2 of last season to the Cleveland Browns. We're not the Cleveland Browns, but they've had a consistently good defense of that stretch, and they had a lot of games in the single digits and things like that. I think after that they gave up one game of 27, and everything else was actually like 24 or less. So they have a good defense.
Right.
But I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be a long game for their offense. I'm going 30-6. I think they get 2 field goals, and that's all they get. It's a pretty comfortable win for the Cowboys. Yeah, and the defensive score,
no touchdowns.
I said they have a good defense, but what if their offense allows our defense to get points? There's loopholes, right? So I'm gonna go 30-6 with, maybe a pick 6 from the defensive line.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, that could be Micah. I mean, D-Law's had a pick 6
It's
before.
Tank.
Yeah, Tank.
Tank's gonna read one of those. They're gonna try to do a drop off to Dalvin Cook, and Tank's gonna drop off of his block, pick it, and take it to the house. What's gonna happen?
I like. Whoa, boy, spicy early in the season. I like you, man. Got kind of loose in here. Kind of loosen this thing.
Look at us.
All right. Yeah. Let's pivot. That's the Jets preview. And we're a full-fledged 40 here to the Freestyle Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, as y'all see, we got Toxic up here. We got Juice. We got AA Ron. Of course, I'll drop. Anybody else wants to come up? I'll drop it one more time over here. Let me drop.
Can I ask Toxic Tom a question real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Obviously, with your name, and we've had you on the show, been in our chat, you've joined us on the panel several times, so we know that you can be very toxic. How does a Toxic Tom family member feel after week 1? Like, where's that toxicity level at? It's got to be pretty low right now, right?
My toxicity level has been really low all season because when they fired Kellen Moore and they gave a Super Bowl winning head coach the right to pick his own staff in year 4, which is insanity in itself. But the fact that they acknowledged that it didn't work and they went the exact opposite direction this offseason, I can't be toxic because this is not the Cowboys. Now, has Jerry Jones still been Jerry Jones? Yes, but I'm glad they are keeping Life Alert away from the camera a little more. And I'll put it to you like this. What I love about this team right now is what Mike McCarthy says is reverberating down throughout his entire squad. And you can hear it in the way his players talk about him, about it's up to the coach. It's none of that. It's not what mom said, no, I'm going to go this way. And it's not a coaching staff that's like handpicked, like it's like a photo album by Jerry. It just feels like this is a real NFL team that really wants to show something. And if I'm wrong, like, when was the last time any of you have felt this good about a coaching staff and our head coach, Parcells?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
You're correct.
2000 and never.
2000.
Yeah.
So the only thing I was toxic about was it was so late because I'm on the East Coast. But other than that, my dad's a Giants fan. I watched it on his face. I watched every minute of it. Every second of it, and he's like, "Oh well, you'll choke in the playoffs." I'm like, "Let's just watch this right now."
Yeah. Just stay in the moment, Dad.
Yeah,
Stay in the
week
moment.
1.
Let's stay on topic.
Yeah.
You think
It's
they'll?
week 1.
You think they'll score, Dad? And he just looks at me, shaking his head like, "They gotta."
See, the problem is that's all in time y'all talking to. That ain't Toxic Tom. He's all in right now.
That's all in.
All in. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever they moved on from Kellen Moore, in my head, I was like, somewhere Toxic Tom was crying tears of happy joy.
Absolutely,
I knew he was.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron was right there with him. Aaron was pulling out the notebook last year. He had his lead notebook, and we're showing us the legal pad. Let me show you, Kellen Moore, what an actual route concept looks like, and let me show you how to beat zone coverages.
Coach AA Ron.
Guy. I shouldn't see this. It's
But you did. He was literally drawing out plays. He's like, let me show you what a flood concept looks like. Let's look at mesh. Here's what a mesh rail is. Like,
You're like, I don't understand why Kellen Moore can't do this on Friday.
In this house, we don't ask Madden. We ask AA Ron.
It's so easy.
I, for the life of me, could never understand hearing the mainstream media talk about how great Kellen Moore was, but at the same time, Dak Prescott's a bad quarterback. That just never really understood with me.
Yeah.
So when I hear it's just good luck in Los Angeles. Charger fans, I hope you love curl routes. I hope you love them.
look, and to the point, and look, and I talked about this on the show. I do Orlando as well, and we talked about it Wednesday here. Look, and McCarthy talked about it all training camp. They had a different play. They had a different thing for the offense Sunday night, but as the game started rolling the way it did, they understood. Oh, whoa, this is happening. Okay, cool. I'm not worried about this. We're gonna play complimentary football now. Because here it is. Here's what's going on. The game's out of reach. The only way we can let them back in is by turning the ball over. Hello, last year, Green Bay. Hello, last year, Jacksonville. And then if you did watch the Miami game, they're late. They're up. It's 3rd and 2. What is Kellen?
Yes.
Empty set.
I was like, congratulations, Chargers. You got him. Good luck.
So happy.
It's funny too because Chargers fans, if you hear them talk, they're like, "It's Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley can't close out games." I'm like, and you paired him with Kellen Moore, real good.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine. He was so happy, and he said, "Did you not want Kellen Moore?" And I said, "You know why? Why? Jerry wanted him. You can have him. You can have him."
There it is. We go to McCarthy in the building. Roy, what's going on, man? How you doing this Friday, brother?
What's up, Pick Six family? How's it going?
Man, we're doing pretty good, man. Give me your score for the game. I didn't get a chance to get you to chime in on anything. And Bruce, I'm gonna get your score. Well, you give me your score. I'm checking, Bruce. Roy, give me your score for the game, brother.
35-7.
Oh, nice.
I like it.
Owen Roy kind of
we're
pretty
kindred spirits right now.
Yeah, pretty good there. All right, well, what are we into next? Nick's picks. Is that where we at next?
Well, real quick, I just want to give our guy Rohit a quick shout out. I know you have a new job you're starting this week or coming up soon, so congrats on that, man.
Yeah, salute.
Thank you.
New beginnings, more money. Let's go.
So I think the chat last week picked that it was hashtag Knicks PIX, Knicks picks that way. I think that's what we went with.
Yeah.
So Knicks.
Yeah.
In chat, you guys play along and panel. I'm gonna let Knicks go, but I want to hear what you guys have to think of the last 3 I'm gonna give. So Knicks. We got the Bengals and Ravens. Who are you picking?
Ravens at home.
Okay. Lions and Seahawks. That's an interesting matchup right there. Who are you picking?
It is. It is very interesting for a lot of reasons, but I'm going Lions.
Okay.
I'm a believer in the we're going to gnaw your knee off. I'm baptized over that. I believe in what that guy's doing.
Okay. Jags Chiefs.
Upset special.
Ooh.
I'm joking. Kansas City.
I was like, okay. All right, so this one I'm gonna give to Nick. I'm gonna give this to Nick and then quickly go around the panel and then we'll go to the next 2 after that. CeeDee Lamb over under 61 yards. That's the prop bet for MGM bets, by the way. CeeDee Lamb over under 61 yards.
Over.
Spoonie.
Over.
Tom.
Under. Under.
Mary.
Over.
Dom.
Over.
Aaron.
Over.
Bruce.
Double.
Double. Love it.
Way over.
Ooh, he said
Over. Okay. So we have.
You're a lone wolf. Give me a how. You a lone wolf. You're. Oh wait. Well. Are you taking the over the under?
No, I'm taking the over too.
Okay.
Tom's the better in this group, so he's probably the one that's gonna be right because he's the guy that's what he does.
He's
All right.
We know he's good at it though.
I don't know if he's good at it, but I know he likes it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's toxic. Just
So this time I'm going to ask Nick's, and then I'm going to start with Rohit and go reverse order.
All right.
Okay. Tony Pollard, over under 70.5 rushing yards.
Man, this one was tough for me. And I see what they did to me from last week with Tony Pollard to this week with Tony Pollard a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the over though. I think there's some opportunities for some big runs for Tony Pollard against this front. I really do. I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the over. Same reasons.
Okay. Bruce.
Double.
People ain't talking about how bad they are at stopping the run. I'm going over.
Yeah.
And I want that fact to stay under the radar.
Fair.
Yeah. Hey, run.
I think it's under.
Okay.
I think it's under. I think Dak's gonna torch them.
Okay.
I like it. Dom.
Under.
Mary.
Yeah, no, I think like I said before, they're gonna go out there and try to pass. The weather's gonna be good. Under.
Tom.
I'll pick over on this one. Attack CJ
Okay.
Mosley.
Interesting. Spoonie.
I like you again, Tom.
Over. I'm taking the under in this time. So this is
See, we took the under last week.
the three. Yeah, out of the three, this is the one that I'm like, I think they might actually have this one right. I agree with what Aaron said, so I'm gonna go under. I think he's more in like the 55 yards rushing, something like that. All right, last one. We're gonna go with Dak Prescott. Knicks over under 219 passing yards.
Over by a smidge. Like he'll throw for 220, 225. That'll be over. Close, but over.
Okay. We'll go with you, Spoonie. You're muted.
You're muted.
Over. 275.
275. Okay. Tom, I'm going to save you for last for this one. Mary.
She says she'll be right back.
All right. Mary said over. Tom. Dom.
Over.
Dom?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Over 248, 3 touchdowns.
How many yards?
248.
248. Okay. Bruce.
Give me the over, teacher.
All right. Rohit.
I'm going to say 250 with 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Tom, did you already answer?
I'm going to go over.
How, are you with Knicks? Are you like where are you out in the over? Are you barely over or way over?
I'm going to go barely over. I'm more concerned that he's efficient. I think he's going to have a clean, efficient day of picking the shit out of that Jets defense.
I'm about there with you.
So, Mary, I'm going to let you be last in this one. But the question was Dak Prescott over under 219 passing yards. I think he's over. I think he hits 300.
Over.
Okay, cool. Well, there, go ahead, Mary. Over.
Yeah. No, I definitely think this is good. Over 219, definitely.
I think he hits 300, and 300 against the Jets is like a 400-yard game, and 30 points against the Jets is like a 40-burger. So I'll be very happy with the 300, 2 touchdown performance, something like that. So, yeah.
I like it.
It's spicy tonight. I like
What's the narrative when that happens though? When if he throws 400, what happens?
Oh, it was just they don't have Aaron Rodgers.
They didn't have Aaron Rodgers on defense. Aaron Rodgers wasn't out there covering. So
Y'all were a star. Y'all already know the minute the Cowboys win, they're no longer good anymore.
That part, exactly.
I just want to get ready.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's our second edition of Knicks Picks. We're going to do it all season long. Sometimes it'll be just games if we have a really compelling slate of games. Sometimes we'll do this where we pick a mixture of NFL games as well as over-unders for those that like to gamble or just like to have fun. You don't have to actually make the bets, but if you want to make the bets, you got Knicks to blame, not the rest of us. This is Knicks' show.
Hey, I won
the Knicks segment
on the Giants game. So, and I won on the Lions betting straight up not taking the points against the Chiefs. So I'm 3-0 right now.
I lost that
on
one.
my bets anyway. So I don't know what my picks were last week, but hey, the money counts. So I'm 3-0 on my money bets.
Tariq, all of us care about winning. This is just a fun segment, but all of us pick the Cowboys to win. I don't know if you agree with that part or not. Yeah. Cool.
Are we at
So,
next?
you guys want to talk some college football?
Yeah, we got some games this week, don't we? Yeah, I mean,
we got some good ones.
That Colorado game.
Why do they play at 9 p.m.?
Hold on. They made it personal. Colorado State decided to make it personal.
Real
Colorado.
Yeah.
I'm tuned in.
That line was 23.5 last I checked. That game's going to be spicy now thanks to that Colorado State coach.
Dion got them all sunglasses too. His whole team, he bought them sunglasses.
Speaking of the sunglasses too, Mary, they released October 12th for $67 a pair between the black ones and the yellow ones. So
Well, I'm cheap, so.
Oh wait,
so they have
Next,
those
I was on Temu for $4.12.
Do they
Free
have
shipping
sunglasses
on Temu
in kid sizes?
Toxic's with the hand up. What you got, Toxic?
I have to own my own receipt on this. I was wrong about the University of Texas. I was dead wrong.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
I'm
Are you
not.
saying Texas is back? Is Texas back?
Texas is back. You went into Tuscaloosa and won? Oh, come on.
That was
They benched their quarterback after that.
Oh
They
my
benched
God.
Milrow after that.
They
That is
said,
crazy.
ain't no
But
way.
you just jinxed them, Toxic. But you just jinxed them.
I'm not
You
a
jinxed
Texas.
them.
I'm not a Texas fan. I have
I know
no
that, but as
skin
soon
in
as you say
Texas.
they're back, it's as soon look here in Texas. As soon as they say they're
Look, I
back,
got friends
and
that
then
went to
they
Texas,
fall, they
graduated.
fall off the cliff.
They know Vince Young even, and they are about this life. They're like,
So, and I only question to Texas fans is, are you going to be upset when Archie Manning goes to Ohio State because he's not going to start because you got Quentin, Errors, whatever, with the mullet out there getting stuff done.
He
But
cut the mullet. He cut the mullet. He's clean cut now.
You got it rid of it.
I have to admit, though, that I was wrong. And that's a hell of a win for Texas. That's probably the best win they've had in a really, really long time.
Oh,
I
very
can't believe that. I can't believe I'm saying that, but just wanted to go off with that.
A quick matchup, real quick, on the Colorado. Yeah, no, I didn't think. So, a quick thing on the Colorado State matchup. I agree. I think Colorado's probably going to beat the brakes off of them. But there is an interesting matchup in that game. There's a wide receiver who's, if you know college football, you know him. But if you're not a big-time college football fan, probably not familiar with his name yet. But Torrey Horton versus Travis Hunter is going to be a really interesting matchup. I expect Colorado State to get destroyed, but Torrey Horton is 6'2" and an absolute blazer. Like that matchup individually will be interesting because Travis Hunter is already in the Heisman consideration, playing both ways and contributing meaningful ways on both sides of the ball. One of the best players in the country easily. But I'm interested to see how he does against him because we haven't seen a wide receiver. We haven't seen him match up against a D1 wide receiver like him yet so far this season. So he's his first test. Now, the game's going to be a blowout either way for Colorado, but I think that's an interesting matchup.
Yeah. Any other games y'all paying attention to before we get over here to the sermon?
Oh, yeah. The game I'm most interested in has its roots going all the way back to 1854 when you had border wars between Kansas and Missouri. But this isn't the Kansas Jayhawks I'm talking about. This is the Kansas State Wildcats. And so those teams have played each other over 90 times. Missouri has the upper hand in the series, but the Wildcats have come on as of late. Offensive line for the Kansas State Wildcats versus the defensive line of Missouri. O knows as good as anybody. Missouri can just show up at any given moment because they have, the girth inside. They have the horses inside. And now it's all about, can you just put it together consistently? So both teams are 2-0 right now, hoping to have a good season ahead. That's a showdown that I'm looking for. Hopefully, Kansas State Wildcats can bring it out. I'm rooting for them because they got a future Cowboy on that offensive line, left guard Cooper Beebe. Speak it into existence.
Yeah, you've been on that BB for over a month now. I like the magic there. We'll get married to a lot of candle later about it too. We got to that
no,
gun.
I got it. No, look, it's always right here, guys.
Yeah, look at that. Boom. The deck candle is on deck anytime we need it.
Oh,
it brought a
wait.
CD lamp. It
I
brought a
didn't
CD
even show
lamp.
y'all. I didn't even show y'all my shoes.
Oh yeah. That you, yeah.
My cowboy shoes. It's hard to see.
No. Just put them out in front of your face and they'll pop up. Just put them out in front of your face. Yeah, there you go. Now lean in.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Right there. Boom. Bang.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Going to
Mary
the game
has her
on Sunday?
Shebok. Those are her Shebok ES22s. That's the Mary version.
You know what? Last week I told y'all that the game I was looking forward to the most was Texas Tech versus Oregon. Texas Tech needed to show up after playing a dud of a game against Wyoming. They did a great job, and I said they had to show up against Oregon to keep the recruiting trail going.
They got him.
What did they end up getting? The number 6 player overall in all of the class, even after a loss, and Micah Hudson, receiver right here in my hometown. So shout out to him. Shout out to Texas Tech. So this next showdown that I'm also looking forward to, just to throw one more out because I don't know if anybody else has anything to bring up. LSU versus Mississippi State.
Ooh.
And the same thing is going to be for LSU. Because, the hype train was there with Brian Kelly, but they came out, got absolutely smacked.
They look awful like Notre Dame when Brian Kelly was in Notre Dame.
For real, man.
We thought they would get the better prospects and different things would change. But you're right, big game. I like that.
Yep, that thing could come off the rails if Mississippi State pull up this upset. So LSU is a 9.5 point favorite. But man, if they go in and they lose to this Bulldog team, just wait for the headlines starting Saturday night. Forget Sunday morning. Saturday night, you're going to see a bunch of people in Baton Rouge and also New Orleans, all over that southeast, talking about
what's the Mississippi State Bulldogs mascot's name? You guys should know this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know it.
Anyone? I know Dom knows. Anybody else want to say his name? They named him after our quarterback.
Yeah.
Mississippi State named their Bulldog Dak.
Yeah, they changed it then.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a new Bulldog and they named him.
Oh.
So Dom, one of the matchups you mentioned, I love the Missouri-Kansas State matchup. There's a defensive lineman who's going to be going against DB from Missouri. I'm drawing a blank on his last name. I want to say his name is Darius Richards or Darius Richardson, one of the two. He's a big defensive lineman from Missouri. I'm sure Mendoza's I've already tweeted about him 11 times in the last week. Mendoza knows all those guys. But I think his name is Darius Richardson or Darius Richards, one of the two. But he's a really good defensive lineman. Could see him going in round 2. I want to mention Minnesota versus UNC because Minnesota's upsetting UNC. That's one of my. They're both 2-0 right now. UNC's ranked. UNC hasn't looked super impressive in either win so far. Yeah. And Minnesota has a safety named Tyler Nubin, who's going to be one of the best safeties in the country. He'll be a relatively high draft pick this year. I think that's an upset. I'm going to go with Minnesota over UNC. And then I haven't really talked Georgia at all because Georgia hasn't played a tough schedule so far. We're playing South Carolina. They're 1-1. Not super impressive, but I'm interested in seeing Juice Wells because he's finally healthy. He's only had 1 reception for 5 yards. Darius Robinson. I just close. Thank you. But Juice Wells is healthier now, and Spencer Rattler's had a pretty decent season for his standards so far. Hasn't turned the ball over, and he's played pretty clean football, thrown for 650 or something like that. I want to see how Juice Wells looks healthy against a UGA defense. Georgia hasn't really been tested yet, so I'm interested to see how Kamari Lassiter plays against him. And on the opposite side of the ball, Javon Bullard's going to miss the game with an ankle injury. So that's a guy that I'm interested in seeing. I think Georgia rolls over them ultimately, but again, when I'm looking at individual matchups within a game, guys that are pro prospects, Juice Wells is absolutely one.
Yeah, cool. Toxic, what's the game you're looking forward to? Aaron and Roy, and then we'll get to the sermon.
All right. Penn State is by default. That's but because I went there. But the game that I actually am really looking forward to watch is Pitt, West Virginia. My mom went to West Virginia, and the one thing I love about college football is the context around it. And I know there are some bumpkins out in Western Pennsylvania right now getting ready to bring some couches down to set them on fire if Pitt wins in that game. So that's just the rivalry and how they're so close together. That's the one game that I am really looking forward to, and I'll probably have some family there. I hope they don't get arrested, but we'll have some family down there who will be representing West Virginia University. So that's the one game I'll be watching.
Hey, Ron, what's the one game you're watching?
I'll watch my Knowles, but I'm not much of a college guy. So
the Knowles are back, just like Texas.
Saturdays for the family.
There it is.
So, Aaron, a name, just if you don't mind, since you're a Knowles fan, Mendoza's asked us to talk about him. Several people in the chat have as well. Can you please tell us a little bit about Keon Coleman? Because he's the, we talked about Johnny Wilson going into the season. Keon Coleman's been the guy that's been the dude for their offense. So you want to talk about him real quick because we haven't highlighted him yet.
So Keon Coleman, man, do you remember Brandon Ayuk in college?
Yeah.
You remember how it's how does this guy move like this? It's different. It's you can't compare him to Brandon Ayuk is the only person I can really think of. But it's because he's not. What is it? I think Keon Coleman's 6'1", 6'2". 6'1",
I thought Coleman was 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he's bigger. He's a bigger guy.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean about the movement.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 6'4", if I'm not mistaken.
He doesn't move like someone who's as big. He's a big frame guy.
Right.
He moves like Brandon Ayuk does. Where you're how does he do that?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he was supposed to be the guy everybody was excited about. It was the other guy, and he is nasty.
10-4. Roy, one college game you're looking forward to this weekend?
So this weekend, I'm looking forward to the Penn State-Illinois game because it'll be my first chance to look at Drew Aller, the Penn State quarterback.
10-4.
Hey,
Savior. Savior.
Dang, Tom off the top rope with the savior talk.
That's two.
Okay.
That's two guys who mentioned Penn State. Something about them because that was going to be outside of the Mississippi State and LSU game. My other upset alert was actually Penn State versus Illinois because Illinois has not played well, but they have some pretty good players. They just put 5 in the draft last year, and it's like this has got the makings of a letdown for Penn State. I don't think it will happen, but this is one. Put it on alert. They better jump out early. If they can jump out early on Illinois, it's going to be a wrap. But if they let them stay around, that's that team thinking this is what we should have been all along. So look out for that one.
Well,
does anybody else think that Alabama's crazy right now? Like,
Hmm.
Jalen Milroe did not obviously didn't have the game that they wanted against Texas, but I don't think he was the reason they lost that game. Benching him after 2 starts that's wild. Like,
Yeah,
he
I
was,
agree.
they were so excited about him this season. Like, I just think that's premature.
No, I think it's premature. I definitely agree.
To me, it's one of the first times that I can remember ever in the Nick Saban era where I smell some desperation.
Yeah,
Nick
that's
Saban
what
has
it
been
is.
the
That's what it is.
It's okay if we lose a game, we'll be right back there. Like, especially a move like that this early into the season with a highly regarded prospect, like it's there's something different in Alabama right now. Just put it that way.
They're not used to, losing like that. And they're definitely scared.
But we'll see. Spoonie, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready.
Don,
pour up some Kool-Aid wherever you need. If you missed the sermon last week, boy, Spoonie, I tell you what. Only person I heard called the 40 burger. You did on that sermon and delivered the message. Great story, great sermon. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, he was. And I talked to him earlier today on the phone. I said, "Man, you ready for that sermon?" And I heard his voice drop down real low. He said, "You already know." I was like, "Oh, excuse me." Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Spooney's sermon.
Last week, I showed everybody the message. I showed everybody the signs. I preached. I said there will be a storm. The Cowboys' doomsday storm went to MetLife. It chased the fans out by halftime. It was still pouring raining out there. Fans was crying. Giant fans was crying. Giant fans was trying to escape the terror, the nightmare it was part of watching their New York Giants fall to the Cowboys' doomsday storm. But I told y'all, I told everybody this is a different year. But no, we want to keep living through the past. From the old team, the old staff. When it came down to some of these professional analysts out there who came out and said, the Giants are going to beat the Cowboys. All of a sudden, after the Cowboys did what they did, and after the Cowboys did what I said it was going to happen, now it's just the Giants. So this is what we do. You keep disrespecting. As Miss Maddie said on Wednesday, the media is part of the reason why this team is mad. As Deacon Dom said on Wednesday, as the media is trying to pull apart this brotherhood, this love, this passion on this team, it's not going to happen. You can put pictures of Micah on one side. You can put pictures of Dak on one side. That is your pictures. The real picture is right now. They're close. This whole team is close. This whole team has one goal. It is the very, very same goal that a lot of us fans witnessed a long time ago. Zach Wilson. I know you called Daniel Jones. I know you talked about his well-being. Hopefully he's getting his medication. Hopefully he's seeing his psych. Hopefully he is. Because Zach Wilson, you should have never called him. You should have called me. I would have told you what was going to happen. Now, you see, the narrative going around right now is that the Cowboys are going to play to their competition. No. See, Zach Wilson, you are a Pro Bowler. You are an all-star quarterback. You are a future Hall of Famer. You see, Zach Wilson, if you look at him right now, you're going to look at me like I'm crazy. No, see, I'm not crazy. What I'm trying to tell you, excuse me. Not what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm telling you, they smell blood. No matter who the fuck you are. You could be Aaron Rodgers. You could be Tom Brady. You could be Peyton Manning. Hell, believe it or not, shit, you could be the Jets quarterback who won Super Bowl III. Don't remember his name. Adam, you be here. It doesn't matter. Whoever is lying in front of this team, you're going to catch it. So Mendoza and Pick Six Sports, what do we say? Hashtag understand this. Zach Wilson, your best bet is not to show up at the stadium. Your best bet to stay your ass at home. Because when you see a psychiatrist and when she goes, Zach Wilson, what do you see here? You're going to say, it's Micah. You're going to say, no, you're crazy. That's a lion. She's going to say, Zach Wilson, what do you see here? You're going to say, D-Law. Just know it's a tank. She's going to say, Zach Wilson, what do you see here? You're going to see LVE. She's going to say it's a damn wolf. You're going to say, Zach, what do you see here? You're going to say doomsday defense. She's going to say you're crazy. When are y'all going to get that this team is not playing around? And if you want to double Michael Parsons, you want to triple team, hell, there's no way to stop this. And I'm trying to warn everybody. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody. Every week that is doubt, another week you'll start breathing. New York Jets.
God.
We're going to rip the Band-Aid off, and you will be joining the dark room like Aaron Rodgers did before he signed with the Jets. Good night.
Good night.
Okay. And scene. The pictures in the side. That's good.
That was great. I love that spoon. You know what?
That was fantastic. Well, as good as it was last week.
I was a captivated audience. I was like, what's next?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, say Pringles and sermons. I gotta love it. Yeah, come
Bruh,
on, man.
this man y'all don't understand.
We don't know where he comes up with this. We don't even talk about it.
You don't understand.
Hey, are you ready? He's like, yeah, I got it. All right, cool.
The level. This boy sat Zach on the couch and said, "What do you see?" Ooh.
Yo, we don't know what's gonna happen. We have no idea. That's what makes it the best.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
You're gonna scare him.
Man,
That's my good. No, it's a lion.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
Oh,
So
God,
good,
I got
it's
tears in
funny.
my eyes. Oh my goodness, that is look. He went from Nostradamus. He's a therapist now. You never know what ass who's going to put on, man. Whatever it takes.
You know?
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. Y'all, man, look, a Friday night. It's an hour and 40 minutes into this thing. Salute to the chat, keeping it popping, and everybody coming through here. Salute to all of our guests that came up here. Anytime we're on these Fridays, it's open to come up. Where my guy Legal Pat's coming up here with Aaron. Toxic as always. Good to see you, brother. Juice was in here earlier, Rowan as well, man. And of course, man, y'all saw how it is. Whether you got the camera on or not, next time we're doing it, feel free to come up here. We rotate it. We got to rotate. We'll rock a full crew and everything. But, man, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us on this Friday. Free 99 to go out there and tell a friend as we build this thing up throughout the year for sure. Last word. Let me spin the block. Last word. Toxic. Let me get to my guest first. Toxic, your last word for this evening.
Start looking at hotels where the Super Bowl's being played.
Oh,
Vegas.
Oh,
Vegas.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Aaron,
Mm.
your last word for the evening, sir.
Last week, Matt got me in my feels about the Emmitt Smith shoes. So one day I will tell my story about how a son of two parents who live in Philadelphia became a Cowboys fan. I'll tell you that story one day.
Oh, interesting.
Looking forward to that.
Nice.
Definitely looking forward to that. Mary.
Nice.
Let's beat the Jets. I'm gonna be at the game. I can't wait to see some of my Cowboys fam. Wear my shoes. Going to the tailgate, lot 10. So let's get this win.
Hey, understand this. Let it hang and let's get 6. I see you down there, Mendoza, cooking. Mendoza down there cooking with the hashtags. Rich Gang in the building, TC. Mendoza, Rich Gang in the building. Salute to the mods, super mods extraordinaire. Lot 10, it does go down.
X.
What happens at lot 10 though?
Yeah.
Stays at lot 10.
Well, does it really though? Because sometimes
No,
it's up on social media.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it sounded good to say though, Mary. It sounded good to say. Dom, your last word for this evening, sir.
Man, enjoy the ride. Simple as that. Enjoy every single moment of it. The bumps of the ride, the smooth postures during the ride. Just enjoy it.
Big facts. Spoony, your last word for the evening?
Put their asses to bed and tell them don't get up till we tell them to.
You didn't hit the dominate, celebrate. No, you okay? More different energy.
That's
man.
what dominate, celebrate now.
I was like, oh, different energy.
You said one thing. I had two. That's my second thing.
That's kind of the theme of the night. Hey, what's the one thing? And everybody just whatever, cook. It's fine. Hey, too much great analysis and too much stuff for these great football minds to just say one. It's my fault for trying to limit y'all to one thing at a time. It's on me, really. Oh, what you got for us, man? Your last word.
Yeah, my last word's gonna be two last words like Spoony. I'm gonna piggyback off my guy to my right or left. I don't know whatever side it is for you guys watching.
Okay.
So, Tank pick 6. I'm calling my shot. I said it earlier. I believe it. Tank's gonna get a pick 6 off a screen pass. Watch it happen. And then the second thing is, I know it's September, but it's gonna feel awfully reminiscent to a famous Jets quote from Sam Darnold, where he was seeing ghosts on the field. It's not October yet, but spooky season starting early for Zach Wilson this Sunday.
Love it.
Like that. Choose. Give it what? No, we. I should have hit in the back channel. My fault. I'll talk about it later.
Happy I'm here.
Let me slide over here. We slide over here real quick, just to throw it in there. Hey, look at this hand. Don't look at this hand, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta ask a question real quick. Sorry. Yeah, but some music. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. I'm good with that.
Oh, I love weed. Oh.
I'm good with that one too.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we were still on board on that, and we didn't talk about it, so.
Yeah. So we started the show. We talked about it last week. We started the show talking about Reebok ES22 is being re-released, and we talked about it last week that after the Cowboys won, Spoony was going to get his pair, and I was excited and wanted to make sure somebody else gets a pair too. So we didn't really come up with the stipulation on how we're going to do this. So we're going to do a score prediction for the chat, I guess. Is that how we want? I don't know. How do you guys want to do this?
For which game? For this game or another one?
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, in the chat, drop your score, and whoever's the closest to the score will receive a free pair of the ES22s on pick 6.
These are expensive shoes too, so you guys better get these scores dead on. Pretty close.
Yeah.
But we want to hook you guys.
You gotta nail it.
So
next
wait,
hey, Ron, you gotta put it in the chat. Don't put it in the private chat. You gotta put it in the regular chat. It's to get it out there quick.
Yeah, that way we can. That way we can go back on.
I'll put it on after the broadcast.
Yeah, if it's not in this chat, it don't count. It's gotta be.
Next week's a bye week for us anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Ooh, you spicy. You spicy.
Fair. Will's got a score in there. Tom's got the score in there. I see with the score.
Okay.
If
And
you're listening, if you're running it back and you missed us live, first off, you should have been here live. But secondly, put it in the comments. We'll still get it.
Hey, look,
But this is your punishment though. If you didn't watch it live and somebody predicted it before you, they're winning, not you. So make sure you tune in next time.
Make sure you pick a different score, because if you pick the same score as somebody else, the first one with it, they're going to be the winners. Hey, we're not trying to give like 5 pairs of shoes here. We ain't that rich. Okay?
Once Reebok sponsors us after they see how much we plugged the shoes this time, then we'll come back.
Yeah, we got to clip this and send it to them and see what happens. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Man, okay. I just want to get back to that right there real quick. And what's that? Sorry,
is he joking? That right there.
So,
I don't even think
if you are, what's gonna happen for you? I'm just gonna tell you, bro. They only go up to size 15, so we'll get you a pair that you can like display or something. But they don't make your size.
Look, they don't make my size either.
If we buy 15 and a 7, then we just get a custom made and a cut and mix match, and I don't know.
We'll just get you a display pair.
Yeah, we'll do
oh my gosh!
You missed it. We're protesting. They don't do small sizes or super big sizes. Okay, we're protesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got the Iron Giant shoes over here. Jeez.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, y'all. With that being said, we'll get up out of here, man. We'll be back in the building next Wednesday. Of course, Sunday, you can catch me over at the PSF app, Pro Sports Fan. It is on Android now as well, too. Me and my guy Lando will be live streaming during the game. So make sure y'all jump over there, give us a follow, jump in the Cowboys chat. A lot of us are over there as well. Fun time. If you want to see me, I'm pretty calm for the most part here in the spaces for the most part. But if you want to see my fandom and see absolutely how insane I might be during games, I completely turn. I'm nothing but a fan for 3 hours. I do it this way for a reason, but I allow myself to still enjoy the game like a fan. And I'm up screaming. It's different. All kinds of things I was saying. I'm gonna cuss. Sorry, you're probably gonna get some cuss words and whatnot, but it's pretty fun. I don't know if Lando was ready, to be honest.
He probably wasn't.
He was out on a little trip. He was out there in Florida. His voice is a little low. I said, don't worry. I'll say more than enough for us during the game. And he's got to sit there watching. He's taking his notes. I'm like, you taking notes? Ain't no notes around here. I was up going around Eddie F you. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, maybe Eddie, give me a second to get up out of here.
You in the mood? You in the
but again,
mood?
I'm just plugging. PSF, come over there, watch me lose my mind during the game, win, lose, or draw. And as always, have a wonderful weekend. Go Cowboys, and no matter what, it's always forward. Peace.